What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? It's H.D. Rhodes live and direct. Look at that, man. 160 countries. We got that beautiful globe out there, man. Imagine y'all just gonna spin that globe, man, and just put your finger on it. And that's where we're about to go ahead and launch your business today. Come on now. Come on now, man. Got the beautiful Canadian flag behind me, man. Live and direct, man, from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Representing the Toronto Raptors. Come on, man. The only team, man, blue-collar team to win an NBA championship in the last 10 years. Let's go, Raptors. Let's go, Raptors. Now that I got you guys all fired up, man, it's about time to talk about the #1 business opportunity of 2025. My name is H.D. Rhodes. I'm coming live and direct from a big corporate building downtown Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. And I'm here today to talk about you. And don't worry, man, just because we're on social media, I don't have nothing but good things to talk about you, man. Look, I'm smiling from ear to ear because rumors has it that 6 days ago, the #1 business opportunity on the planet was launched for you and mine. You go, HC, why do you say with you and mine? Because can you imagine that all your life, man, you always knew somewhere deep down in your heart, there's got to be more to life than this. I mean, there's got to be more than me just nonstop bop going to work, working 40, 50, 60, some 70 hours a week, man, just to be able to work the next 40 or 50 or God forbid, 55 years. Just to retire on 40% of what you couldn't even get by on right now in 2025. You know what, man? There is, man. And guess what? The Lord himself heard your prayers. He literally went ahead and it was like he said, you know what? Wonder Twin powers. It's time to activate. And you had 3 super powerful men and women come together. Megan Lynch, Reagan Lynch, and Andre Russell. They came together like the Wonder Twin powers. And guess what? You don't got to worry about them deactivating because they came together in a common unity to create a community for entrepreneurs, content creators, and educators to be able to go what? You know what? To go around the world, man. And to be able to bless the world, man. To be able to bless the community. To be able to bless, it don't matter what continent, it doesn't matter what country, it doesn't matter what province or state, it don't matter what city, it don't matter what barrio. The Lord has answered your prayer. You understand what I'm saying? That gift, that dream, that goal to get you smiling ear to ear like that right there. Guess what, man? God's answered your prayers. He heard the cries, man. Just like, man, thousands of years ago when he heard the children of Israel sit up here. Pharaoh told us to get straw and make brick. Make straw and get brick. Hey, and then guess what? Moses opened his big mouth and said, hey, Pharaoh, it's time for you to let my people go. I'm telling you today, in the spirit of Moses, it is time for you to let my people go. It's time for corporate America, corporate Canada. It's time in 160 countries around the world to let my people go, to let my dreamers go, to let my visionaries go, to let all those people go who got that burning desire to be so much more than they are right now. And this is the place, this is the time, and this is the vehicle. Welcome to your future. Visualize your breakthrough. Visualize the blessings that God has for you. He's bringing a full plate, just like a buffet, man. Guess what? You can chew the meat and spit out the bones, and you can choose whatever dessert you want. Because today, for this next half hour to 45 minutes, baby, it's all about you. One time. Come on, you go HD with them dad jokes. You got to stop. Hey, man, that's my personality. I forget. You got to forgive me, man. It's the personality God gave me. It's the only one I got. So anyways, man, what I want to talk about is opportunity for you to take advantage of 3 things. #1, if you don't know what your dreams, your goals are, if you don't know what your passion, if you don't know what your gift is, it's okay, man. #1, we're here to help you to be able to discover what it is that God put deep in your heart, man. He gave you a gift, man. You know, there's a story that Talents and Midas has said that, you know what, the Lord, you know, the Lord of his particular household, his particular empire, he was going on a long trip. And before he went on that long trip, he went ahead and he gave 5 talents to one of his servants. He gave 2 talents to another one of his servants. He gave 1 talent to another, the third servant. And guess what? When he came back from his long trip, he came back to settle up and see. You know, he wanted to see what they did with the talents they gave him. Do you understand? I'm not just talking about a parable, man, that's in the Bible. I'm talking about you, because God did not just bring you down on this earth and leave you without any talents. Hello. He didn't just leave you on this earth and leave you without any gifts. Hello. He didn't leave you on this earth without a passion to do great things. And guess what? All I want to do is just dust off the world from you, man. All I want to do is just speak life into you, man. I want to dust off your shoulders. I want to fix your shirt. I want to go ahead and give you a posture of a champion. I want to speak life into you, because this is your time to win. God has answered your prayers. It's time for you to become all that you can be. And guess what? It all starts with you, man. It all starts with you, inside you. I want you to be able to go ahead for the first time in your life. Start dreaming again. For the first time in your life, I want you to take a chance, man. Maybe you've had visions, you've had goals of entrepreneurship, or being able to teach a specialty course, a value-added course, or to be a content creator. And guess what? When you look to the left and you look to the right, nobody agrees with you. Guess what, man? I agree with you, man. I'm here to co-sign on your dreams. I'm here to co-sign on your vision. I'm here to co-sign on the gifts that God has given you. Come on now. And I want to help you to be able to develop it. Hello. After you discover it. Hello. And then I want to help you display it on the world scene in 160 countries around that globe right there. Why? I want you to be able to monetize your passion to the tune of 7, 8, 9 figures. And if you can dream for 10 figures, well then praise the Lord. Hallelujah. It's your time. And so without further ado, man, I want to talk about this opportunity that we call Vibe. Vibe was put together by, I told you, by 3 super friends. Megan Lynch, who was an English teacher in Indiana. Man, telling you 10 years ago, man, if you guys look online, you'll find this is a fact, because I read the newspaper in July of 2015. She was at one of many funerals that she was going to every year, because her students who were coming from the inner city, man, they were coming up missing. Hello, they're coming up deceased. Hello, they're coming to school upset. Why? Because people were dying in the street. People were dying in the hood. And it wasn't just because of police violence. Hello, because they had cartels going on, sitting up here. They had drug gangs in which they had to deal with. And guess what, man? Because a lot of people didn't have the knowledge. They didn't have the understanding. Or maybe they didn't have the environment to tell them that you could be so much better. And then the environment that you're growing up in. No one told them that, you know what, that guess what? Do not despise small beginnings, because greatness is what the Lord has went ahead and put in you. No one was able to encourage them and speak life into their vision, speak life into their goals. And guess what? That might have been then, but this is right now. When you plugged into this, because I'm here to speak life into your goals, into your dream, into your vision. And Megan Lynch, guess what? She went ahead and wrote a grant for $100,000, and her and her twin sister Reagan, hello, the two of them did that because they wanted to start an after-school program for these inner city students who were going to this school in which she was teaching at, so that they would be able to get a vision much greater than social media. She wanted them to get a vision much greater than she had watching TV growing up. She wanted them to be able to get a vision much grander than her grandparents had listening to the radio. Oh man, you go HD, you sound like you're talking about the gospel. You betcha I'm talking about the gospel of entrepreneurship, education, and content creation. I'm talking about the gospel of success. I'm talking about the gospel that says that you don't got to stay where you are. Because guess what? Where you were born, hey, that's just where you were. But where you end up, now that's 100% your responsibility. And so if you can take the truth, like I'm going to lay down the truth, man, I'm telling you, today could be the beginning of something great, because God has put greatness in you, but you need to surround yourself with greatness. My mom used to tell me when I was younger, she said, David, you got to understand this, man. Birds of a feather flock together. So guess what? If you need a new flock, well, then welcome to Vibe, because guess what? We put together a common unity, otherwise known as a community. In Vibe Tribe, you have an opportunity to be able to network, to be able to rub elbows. As the Bible itself says, guess what? Iron sharpens iron. And guess what? You have an opportunity to sharpen your iron, your tools, with some of the top educators, content creators, and entrepreneurs in 160 countries. Hello. In what? a community we call Vibe Tribe. Vibe Tribe is kind of like an ecosystem in which you're able to go ahead and create your own community of like-minded individuals. When I say like-minded, I'm talking about success. I ain't talking about bank accounts. Hello. Because guess what? Once you get in business, we say the 5 people you spend the most time with, if you add up all their income divided by 5, you're going to find your income smack dab in the middle of it. And so if I were you, I'm not, but if I were you, I would want to become part of Vibe just to be part of their tribe so I could be around multi-millionaires in whatever industry I'm from. Hello. Now you go, HD. What you're saying right now sounds good. Well, then keep on talking, baby, because HD's got something better for you. You know anything about a vault? In a bank, a vault is where they keep their most prized valuables. Well, guess what? In the company, Vibe, Visualize Your Breakthrough, ain't nothing different. They keep some of their most prized possessions in the vault. In fact, in our vault, we have everything that has to do with money. What you say? I said we got everything that got to do with money. It don't matter if it is Forex, crypto, NFTs. It don't matter if it's sports betting. It don't matter if it's real estate and mortgage industry. If it has to do with money, you're going to find it in the Vibe Vault. Why? Because Megan Lynch, that same teacher who went ahead and wrote that grant with her twin sister for $100,000, they never got that money. And you know what? Unlike a lot of other people, she didn't go crying her Cheerios. She made a decision that when she said she was going to teach entrepreneurship to these unfortunate individuals who were growing up in an environment where the only thing that seemed close to entrepreneurship, hello, was guess what? Was them flash monitors, those flesh mongers who are sitting up there moving the flesh. You understand what I'm talking about. Not just women, it's men. And unfortunately, in these days, we're starting to find out through the news, some of these people even moving, guess what, minors. What you mean? I'm talking about sex trafficking, hello. I'm talking about prostitution, hello. Are we on the same page now? I'm going to give it to you straight if you can take it straight. I'm talking about dope dealing and drug dealing. You know, the street pharmacists who sometimes, unfortunately, they might be selling some of the stuff which is more pure and is going to be able to cure more things that you're going to get at your local pharmacy. But that's a different conversation because we ain't here to talk about big pharma right now. We're here to talk about entrepreneurship. And when Megan went ahead and put this program together, she wanted to be able to help uprise the mentality of the people who she was teaching for entrepreneurship legally and ethically and morally. And she wanted to teach them a way that wouldn't go against God's laws or man's laws so that they would be empowered to be able to do great things like as of old. Because you got to understand, when you look at Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, there was a period of time where, guess what? African Americans were some of the most successful men and women in the United States of America. I bet you didn't know the first metro train, hello, was in where? Tulsa, Oklahoma. I bet y'all didn't know the first Wall Street was where? Black Wall Street. I bet you didn't know that first car, hello, first airplane, hello. I bet you didn't know that George Washington Carver developed 100 different inventions out of a peanut. And guess what? That's the issue, is a lot of people don't know where we come from. And if you don't know where you came from, how are you going to know where you're going? The Bible says a man without vision shall perish. And unfortunately, the only vision that a lot of people have in the urban inner cities in the United States of America is what's being provided, or funded, I said that again, which is being televised through, hello, the radio station to our grandparents, the TV to our parents, hello, social media to our children today. If you don't understand the importance of being able to control the vision in your community, how else you think that you're going to be able to direct their attention, what they're learning, what they're going to do with their life? Hello. And they understand the importance of that. You say, who's they? People who are successful, that's it. People who are successful understand the importance of vision. Why? Because guess what? It's not a secret in the Jewish community. Hello. It ain't a secret in the Hispanic community. Hello. It ain't a secret in the Caucasian community. Hello. And it wasn't a secret in Egypt. And it wasn't a secret in the Hebrew culture as of old. And you want to know why it's a secret now? I heard a saying once that said, you know what? If you want to be able to go ahead and hide information for someone to get free, all you got to do is put it in a book. Well, you know what? They obviously didn't meet me or some of my close friends, because me and some of my close friends, we're avid readers. And speaking about average readers, if you want to be able to change where you are to where you want to go, a wealthy male by the name of Joe McGee, a wealthy individual, multimillionaire by the name of Joseph McGee told me once, he said, H.D. Rhodes, if you want to be a millionaire, you got to think like a millionaire. You got to speak like a millionaire. And I was only 20-something years old. I said, hey, Joe, well, how am I going to read and speak like a millionaire? He said, you got to read like a millionaire. I said, right when I want to say, Joe, what do millionaires read? Because he was the owner of 25 franchises of Q Point Mortgage Company, which means there's a mortgage company and he had 25 branches, 25 branches of that. I don't know about you, but I consider someone like that rich. I mean, how many people you know can barely afford one McDonald's? Hello? What about if they had 25 McDonald's? 25 McDonald's. I think that individual might be able to teach us something about money. Well, not only that, he was a vice president of Cascade Bank. And you know, before he got out of his Porsche 911, where he was having this conversation with me, he looked back, he said, HD, let me explain something to you, man. If you want to be a multimillionaire, you got to read what millionaires read. And he went and answered the phone. I looked in the backseat of his Porsche 911. I seen a book that was Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad. I wrote the name of that book. I went to the nearest Barnes and Nobles, and you betcha that, and same night, I started reading that book. And let me tell you what I found. I found that, guess what? Rich people are rich because they spend their money differently than poor people. In fact, rich people actually invest their money. They don't just spend it, they invest it. And what they invest in? Assets. Assets are things that put money in your pocket, while liabilities are things that take money out of your pocket. You got to understand that. That's a huge difference between the haves and the have-not. It's not just how they think, but it's how they spend their money. Hello. And the other thing that Robert Kiyosaki went ahead and explained literally in his next book that didn't even come out but another 2 to 3 years later, called Cash Flow Quadrant, he said, if you want to be able to be successful, then you got to own your own business. Now, a lot of people a lot of times go, well, you know what? It costs a lot of money to start the business. They don't have the education to start a business. They don't know, where to go ahead and get it licensed. They don't know marketing. They don't know. And you know what? Robert Kiyosaki answered that question when he wrote that book, Cash Flow Quadrant. He said the number one way he would suggest for an employee to become a business owner is direct sales and network marketing. He goes, why? He said, because it's the most efficient way to move product to market. And with a direct sales company, they all have, guess what? They have leadership organizations, which is going to give you basically the cheat code to business. Why? Because most people who go ahead and start business by themselves, they don't have mentorship. You know what? The average restaurant, 98% of them are closed and fail within the first 5 years. 98%. 90% of most businesses fail within the first 2 to 5 years. Why? They don't got mentorship. Hello. They didn't have a clear plan. They didn't know how to market. They didn't know sales. Do you understand what I'm talking about? The importance of mentorship. When you're in a direct sales company, that's the very first thing you have. Because in order for you to be able to become affiliated with a direct sales company, you got to be invited. You'd be like, HD, what is this, a secret society? No, it ain't a secret society. But you got to understand, success leaves clues. And when you're part of success, the one thing that successful people are always looking to do is to go from success to significance. Now you go, HD Rhodes, what's significance? Significance is when you take your success, you take your knowledge, your skill set, you go ahead and take the things in which you've been able to learn that work and don't work, and now you impart it into the next man. And now as you impart it to the next man, if they have a big dream or goal, if they're coachable and teachable, hello, and if they have a good work ethic, then you're going to be able to speak into their lives. And kind of like Yoda was with Luke Skywalker, not so much Han Solo, you're going to be able to tell them when to take a left, when to take a right, and guess what that's going to do? That's going to make their margin of error come down quite like this, where they're not going to make as many mistakes. And you know what else it's going to do? It's going to be able to speed up the opportunity to be success faster. And so you know what? That's exactly what Megan Lynch and Reagan Lynch was able to go ahead and do when they launched this platform called Vibe, Visualize Your Breakthrough. Now, let's talk about how that came together. Because how did she go from being a teacher and her twin sister, I haven't told you yet, used to be in corporate America. Her twin sister, Reagan, man, she's a dynamo when it comes to networking. She's a dynamo when it comes to going ahead and communicating, being able to take things in which are different industries, connect them together, being able to communicate with people. And you know what? She's kind of a backbone behind this company, not just from a standpoint of networking, but a backbone of knowing how to organize things. And when you combine that with the skill set of a gentleman by the name of Andre Russell, come on, we're talking to a gentleman who went from a professional athlete, a professional cricket player from the West Indies of Jamaica, hello, to going ahead and making hundreds of millions of dollars in, guess what, the technology field. Man, you got a killer combo, which you might as well say it's the big three. And Ice Cube ain't even included. So we ain't talking about basketball. The cool thing is when these three superpowers came together, they created a super colossal platform that's going to allow content creators, educators, hello, and entrepreneurs the opportunity to take advantage of all the systems it takes to create money. Even calling forth some of the top educators in all the fields that you could imagine, man. Imagine being able to have a gentleman by the name of Barnaby who came all the way from Australia. And what's his specialty? I don't know. Only the last 33 years, he was the one who was one of the key people to help develop e-commerce in Australia. He actually knew about Bitcoin when it was only 20 cents. Could you imagine that? Know about Bitcoin when it was only 20 cents. Man, how much money would you have had if you would have invested $1,000 in Bitcoin when it's only 20 cents? Man, shut the door. I guarantee you would probably be sailing in St. Bart's, probably have you a gigantic mansion sitting on top of some mountain or hill in which you go ahead and have solar power. You'd be off grid, like, man, doing you, living your life. And you know what? Maybe that's not what your goal is. Maybe your goal is just to be able to travel the world with your significant other, to be able to teach your children history by actually going, spinning around that globe right there, and being able to go, okay, this is where we're going to go ahead, and being able to hire a private tutor so that your child is able to get the quality education in which, guess what, only money can buy. Hello. Well, guess what? Then this is your platform. I already told you the Vault has everything you're going to need to learn about money. But guess what? They also have something called Vibe Global. Now, Vibe Global is also part of an education platform in which now it's going to allow content creators and educators, and it's going to allow those individuals who are entrepreneurs to be able to take their skill set, their knowledge, and to be able to monetize it. Imagine if you have someone from corporate America who is just a dynamo, who has just the secret sauce when it came to sales, that no one in his entire organization, nobody in his entire industry was able to be able to get sales, and he had just a simple system. I don't know. Someone kind of like a Megan Lynch, you know, she has this legend 777 blueprint, you know, a way to be able to help the average individual be able to, in 90 days, go from zero to being able to make, guess what, 6 figures a month. Oh, I didn't stutter. Miss Megan Lynch, she bad. That's why we call her the legend maker. Not only is she a legend, she has a system that she's developed, literally developed over the last 10 years since she left teaching. Ever since, you know what, she was so upset when Gregory Johnson died and all his classmates were wearing a shirt that said, make money till you die. That's when she launched, guess what, that after school program called Save Our Sons, or SOS. And guess what, 10 years later, that's what Vibe is all about. Vibe is literally an ecosystem for entrepreneurship, education, and content creators to be able to learn from the best who do it. Imagine if you could learn, you know, how to be able to make millions of dollars from Forex traders who have their own academies, who's making hundreds of millions of dollars. Imagine being able to learn about Forex, cryptocurrency, NFTs, from individuals who were literally almost a billionaire in that. Imagine being able to learn about real estate and investing in real estate from someone who's already made tens of thousands of dollars a day. Oh, did I say a day? Yeah, because I meant, you know, they made tens of millions to hundreds of millions of dollars in that industry. So when you go ahead and scale that back to days, that'd be a day. Interesting. I don't know about you, but instead of sending my kids to Harvard, Princeton, or Stanford just to go work in a 40-40 plan, you know what? I think I'd rather put them in an education where they're going to be able to get real knowledge, real education, and have real mentorship on a daily basis from people who are making 8, 9, and 10 figures a year. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but my dad used to always tell me, he goes, David, if you're going to do anything, be the best. And guess what? If I'm going to be part of any platform, you better believe it's going to be the best, because I wasn't trying to be able to come out of semi-retirement. Man, I was semi-retired, man. I wasn't worried about business. I spent the last 3 years studying investment. Why? Because I went to school in finance, baby. Why you think I was in the mortgage industry? Man, I remember, 20 years ago, man, now I'm dating myself, excuse me. My son just turned 23. It would be 23 years ago, man. I remember me and my wife chilling in Canada, me going down to the U.S. just to pick up my checks because I wasn't waiting for that direct deposit back in them days. I wanted to feel my cash. I wanted to touch my cash. And I remember when we went from the point where I stopped working at Conseco Financial, and I went to go ahead and worked at a company with Jerome Majet, Rome. I remember we went to A to Z and we got a 50% split, and I was excited, because I wasn't on a tier system anymore. I wasn't on that 40-40 plan where, guess what, I was making a $24,000 a month or $24,000 a year salary plus commissions, and my commission was tiered based off of how much volume I was running. I remember when all of a sudden I was on 100% commission, getting a 50% split, me and this franchise I was working with. But then I remember when all of a sudden Jerome Majet and Michael Gray was like, hey, we talked to Michael Lee, and guess what, man? There's a mortgage franchise out there that's giving people 100% of their commission. I was like, what? I wanted to hear about that because guess what? My wife was pregnant at the time with my oldest son. And I'm like, yo, You're telling me we have an opportunity to collect all this money that we used to make at Conseco Financial, and we get to keep the whole thing? They were like, you bet. I was like, man, you got to tell me about it. Man, I sat down there, showed us how, guess what? At this company, they're going to charge the same fees as all the other companies. But the difference is on the origination side of the loan origination, that 2, 3, or 4% that we had charged as a mortgage broker was going to go 100% on our bank account. Man, I couldn't believe that. But guess what? 6 months later, I was collecting $10, $15, and $22,000 a month. Living in Canada, I was making US. So you times that by 1.5, every $10,000 was $15,000. If I made $20,000, which I made over 22, man, in 1 month, that was what? Over 30. Do you understand what 32 plus $1,000 in 1 month looked like back in 2002? Man, you understand inflation doubles the price of things every 10 years. So go ahead and undouble it for 20 years. That means I would have had the buying power of 30,000 Canadian in 2001, would be the buying power of 62,000 Canadian in 2011. That'd be the buying power, hello, of over $122,000 in 2022. Yeah, man, that was the buying power I had, man, 20 years ago, man. Those were the days. But now you have an opportunity to do that and more with this platform. Because with this platform, you have an opportunity to be able to be mentored by multimillionaires and billionaires in everything that has to do with money. I went ahead and called James Udell after talking to my best friend on the whole wide world, Romy Rome. He goes, HD, man, you still got that book you wrote, man? I said, which one? Power Proclamation? He said, yeah. He said, man, did you go ahead and ever publish that? I said, nah, bro, man, I ended up spending $1,000 2 times Canadian, man, and they wanted me to go ahead and revise it a third. I'm saying, man, I'm starting to think that this is one of them pyramid things, one of them scams where I keep sending my book. They're going to find something that needs to be changed or edited. They didn't find the first 2 or 3 times. Then I'm going to go ahead and send it back. Then they're going to charge me again and go, oh, well, you know what? Well, this is a step-by-step process. And I'm going to go, man, how many steps are there? 20? You want me to pay $20,000 for a book that I'm literally only going to sell for $19.99 a copy? Come on, man, miss me with that. I said, so guess what, Rome? I said, that book's there. It's been polished not once, but twice already. And I'm not polishing a third time. All I'm waiting for is the time to go ahead and find out who can go ahead and help me be able to do the self-publishing. I said, because I'm not interested in them pyramids they call, guess what? Publishing companies. You mean, HD, why you call the publishing company a pyramid? Because they were scamming me out my money and I got no return. You go, HD, that's not how that works. That's not how pyramids and scams work, ain't it? Because that's what you guys say when you talk about Amway. That's what you guys say when you talk about Melaleuca. That's what you guys say when you talk about Mary Kay, Shackley, Prepaid Legal, Hello, or Legal Shield. Ain't that? Huh, that's interesting how that works. Because I know my cousin down in Alabama, he making a great amount of money off of a little bit of investment with Mary Kay. Shout out to KB, otherwise known to y'all as Bernard Bond. I know that a gentleman by the name of Jefferson Green, he went ahead and invested. He invested less than $1,000, and guess what? In less than 3 months, he was already making millions of dollars with Melaleuca. Come on, I know a gentleman by the name of Kevin Merriweather, Ernest Ross, hello, and they invested less than $1,000, and they're making 6 and 7 figures a month in Melaleuca. So how is this thing a pyramid? But me sitting up here sending all this money to get my book edited over and over again ain't. I don't know. Maybe we need to look at that definition of a pyramid. You know, the thing that's built like this, where the person on top makes more money than everyone below him? You mean kind of like a CEO? You mean that thing on top, like here, look kind of like a pyramid, where the people on bottom can never make more money than people on top? You mean kind of like your job? You mean that thing to look like a pyramid like that, where guess what? The only thing that makes it legal is there's a product and service that's being exchanged for currency? You mean like your job? Yeah. Because I know direct sales is different. I know it don't matter who's on the top, because if the person on the bottom works harder and he sells more product or service than the people 10 to 20 people above him, he's going to make more money. What do you call that? I call that fair. I know that, yeah, the person on top in some network marketing companies can make money off all the people below him, but he's got to be qualified for that. He's got to have his organization. He's got to fill all these parameters and all this stuff to be able to qualify for that. But guess what? I also know that direct sales is one of the most efficient ways to move product and service to the market. So when you look at your job and you look at direct sales is even less of a pyramid than your job. But I don't see these trains and these buses slowing up from being full every morning. And I sure don't see this traffic dying down at 5 o'clock when everyone's getting off work. So what does that tell you? Y'all ain't worried about a pyramid. I think the thing that you guys were concerned with was the fact that the people you talked to about a particular opportunity was for you to make money wasn't popular in the circles that you run with. But if you ran with circles like Grant Cardone, if you ran with circles like, guess what, Robert Kiyosaki, if you ran with circles like Eric Thomas, if you went ahead and ran circles with someone like the name of Anthony Robbins, who was mentored by Jim Rohn, and Jim Rohn's a motivational speaker, he actually got his start in direct sales and network marketing. If you ran in successful circles like that, I think you would think differently about direct sales, including the fact that, guess what, 2 of my first multimillionaires who mentored me were in direct sales in Amway. And guess what? With the money that they were making from Amway, one bought Windermere Real Estate Company over there in Seattle, Washington. The other one, Joe McGee, who I told you about earlier, he invested his money in Q Point Mortgage. Now, guess what? Both of them invested their money in corporate America. And everyone's so happy to go work for them over there. But why wouldn't people be excited to be able to work with them to be able to start their own business? Ain't it funny how that kind of works? Sometimes I always wonder, like, who's the one who brainwashed? Ooh, sorry about that. Who's the one who educates everybody about what's a true pyramid versus a job? Who's the one who educates people on the difference in assets and liability? Who is the one in charge of this information that's got everybody going, you know what? You got to go to school and you got to get good grades, and then you're going to go ahead and get a good job, and they're going to take care of you for the next 40 years. Then you're going to get a pension from the government that's bankrupt. 401k's gone. Oops. I let the cat out the bag. I'm sorry. RSPs aren't going to help you. I let the cat out the bag for Canadians. I'm sorry. And guess what? The government's trying to tell you, you need to go on and be wiser and smarter with your investments so that you can provide for your own retirement. Why? Because they already spent the money. Oh, man, I'm sorry, man. I'm a truth bird. And I can't help sometimes when I talk, the truth just keeps coming out. And so what's my point? Megan Lynch and Reagan Lynch, hello, and Andre Russell, they put together a platform to be able to solve all those issues for you. They went ahead and put together an entrepreneurship school, an entrepreneurship academy, an entrepreneurship platform to be able to not only teach you how to run a business, not only to teach you how to be able what to do with your money and not just investments. Hello, but they got people who are going to teach you about, guess what, trust. HD, what's a trust? You've heard of a trust fund, baby? Yeah. Well, the trust is what take care of that baby. And you get to learn all about that and everything that has to do with money in Vibe Vault. Now, the cool thing is outside of that, guess what? You go, HD, man, I want to run my business, man. You already got me convinced. The problem is, HD, what about a website? They got business solutions too. What? Man, y'all need an app? They can help you build an app too. What? Man, they got an online, guess what, business registry that, guess what, they're going to be able to help you with your online business registry where they have over 75,000 entrepreneurs who already signed up to be able to direct traffic to your business, service, and product. What? You know what we call that? Man, I had a great conversation with the owner of the company, man, on yesterday, Miss Megan Lynch. I was on the phone with her and Jerome Majet, who's going to be teaching a course in Vibe Global, which is called, guess what? It's called Attraction Marketing. He's going to teach you a course in which cost him $10,000 to take. Hello. And guess what? It's such a powerful course that all business owners, all sales reps need to take this course. Why? Myron Golden took this class from the same company that Jerome Majet went and dusted off his resume and went ahead and went to work for. And he put in 9 months of sweat equity, being able to learn this system of attraction marketing so that he would be able to move his book that he couldn't move anymore on Amazon.com because he already went through his friends. He already went through his family. He already went through his entire warm market, including his co-workers. And guess what? When he found out about this particular way of marketing, it changed his life. Why? Because after 9 months of sweat equity, he went from having a YouTube channel that sat there dormant with only a handful of his friends, family, and co-workers to being able to have that thing grow in a matter of 6 to 8 months to over 19,000 subscribers. Now, you imagine if you had 19,000 subscribers join your online community in the next 6 to 8 months? How would that change the way that your business is going? How would that change the amount of product or service you could sell? How would that change whether or not you're able to start monetizing, your online social media platform? Come on. You understand what I'm saying? That's what we call visibility. And what Jerome Majette's going to teach you in this class, in which is called attraction marketing, is guess what? You can get accessibility anywhere. That just means you're online. You can be online on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, or Instagram. You can be online and have your book sitting there on Amazon.com till the cows come home. You go, man, I can tell H.D. Rhodes, man, he got raised from somebody down south because he's got all these sayings I ain't heard until the cows come home. That's right. But guess what? Let me explain to you what visibility is. It's foot traffic, man. See, if you put your name in a phone book where there's 7 million names, that ain't going to help you build your business. Man, and most people don't have the tens of thousands of dollars, that some of these corporations have for advertising. But guess what? What if you could be part of a platform in which monetizes over 75,000 businesses and sales entrepreneurs to go ahead and send you customers? I'm going to let that sink in. Do you have the budget to be able to pay 75,000 people to sell your product and service? No. Ain't it cool? Or would it be okay with you if Vibe did that? Man, you'd be an HD. It depends on how much they charge you. What if they didn't charge you no more than $300 a month? $300? Yeah, man. Last time I looked up, Shopify cost $600, and that ain't even their top. Platform with all the additions. Hello, if you go ahead and look at skill set. Hello, you go look at school. Hello, you go look at me to you. Guess what? You look at all them platforms, man. Them platforms have a higher cut. What they say, you to me is going to take 50% of your profits for you to be able to have your stuff on there. And guess what? Vibe's not. What if Vibe said they're going to say, hey, man, we're going to go ahead and literally let you keep 70% of all your profits that you made in your value-added course. So guess what? Big Rob down in Washington, who's went and spent 18 years learning martial arts and teaching martial arts over in Taiwan. Now he's in Washington State. He's able to go ahead and upload his content that he's recording daily, teaching live martial arts classes. And guess what? Now he's able to get a 70% on every dollar. And he's on a digital platform now that works for him 24 hours a day. I call that an asset. In 160 countries, are you kidding me? And there's 75,000 people who are going to be driving traffic to him. Man, out of that, what if he only had 1,000 people sign up for his martial arts class today? Well, if he charges $50 a month, hello, $50,000, hello, in his bank account this month while he sleep? Come on, man. Well, you go ahead and take that. Let's just, what's 30% of 50? AC is not good at math. I think we ought to divide that by 3. 50 divided by 3, I don't know. Man, let's just call it $20,000. HD, that's half. Hey, man, I'm not best at math, man. But what happens if 1,000 people refer one person next month? Hello. What happens if that 1,000 people get so much value because this brother spent 18 years in Taiwan that they invite one person each? Then he's going to go from 20,000 this month to 40,000 next month. What if that happens the same thing the third month? Then he's going to go from 40,000 the second month to 80,000 the third month. When's the last time you ever had an opportunity to go from making whatever you make now to adding an extra $20,000 on the side? To being able to double that and have 40,000 the second month, and be able to double that and have 80,000 on the third month. I don't know about you, but I call that one heck of an opportunity. And that's why I'm talking to you about this right now. Now, the greatest thing about this is, guess what? That's only one income stream. I went ahead and talked to my brother, James Udale, down in Dallas, Texas. He's one of the baddest bass guitar players. Man, he plays with professional jazz musicians down in Dallas, Texas. He not only plays there, he plays in his church because he's a God-fearing man. As he's raising his son, he got a son. Outside of that, he's teaching one-on-one students, man, doing tutoring. Man, imagine you being able to learn from a good man like that who's honest. Hello. He ain't going to break God's laws or man's laws, and he just wants to teach you to play music. Imagine putting your kid on that. And what if he was only charging you $30? Hello. Well, I told James, look like this. If you only charge $30, what if you only had 50 people sign up a day? But guess what? At the end of the week, that's still $10,000. Times that by 52 weeks in a year, that's still $500,000. Not bad for James just playing his music and hit record on his phone. And if not for James and if not Rob, why not you, man? I told you when I started this presentation, we have 3 things we want to help you do. My brother from another mother, Jonathan Marino, man. He had one of the best interviews last week that I've done so far, man. And he said Vibe only does 3 things. And I wrote it down. I even had to put it in my presentation. He said they're going to help you discover your gifts. Hello. They're going to help you develop your, and then last but not least, they're going to put it on display around the world, man. Jonathan Moreno, thank you. Shout out to you, brother. I love you, man. I love being able to connect with you, man. And I appreciate the knowledge in which you're kicking down. And this is why I told y'all when I started this presentation. Birds of a feather flock together. You want to be successful, man, you need to get out of your comfort zone. You need to network with other successful people. And Vibe made that easy with their community, as I told you, through Vibe Tribe. Now, let me go on and tell you what else they did. I talked about the digital products. I talked about the digital education. Hello. Let me go ahead and now talk to you about something. I talked to you about the community. But guess what? Did you know Vibe even is going to help you learn how to brand yourself? Good Lord, man. I mean, they're doing all this for less than $300 a month. Are you kidding me? I'm suspicious. There's got to be a catch. What's the catch, HD? Do you realize they even have something called Vibe Styles, where if you want to be able to sell your own merch, your own sweats, your own hats, hello, your own gear? They have 40,000 square foot of warehouse space in Vibe Styles. And guess what? When you're done going ahead and submitting your design, guess what? They're even going to allow you to be able to sell it on their site, on their platform, hello, which means that you have access to their 75,000 entrepreneurs who signed up during pre-launch. Or you could go ahead and sell your merch, hello, on your own site that you had them develop for you, or through the app in which you have them develop. Are you kidding me, man? Are you kidding me, man? Man, this is what I'm trying to tell you, man. This is what I'm trying to tell you. You'll never have an opportunity like this. It's as simple as 1, 2, 3. Shout out to Jonathan Moreno, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. Being able to work with guys like iron sharpen iron, where guess what, man? You're able to go ahead and vibe off of each other, no pun intended, where you guys are going to be able to help each other propel to being successful. Last but not least, guess what? They got something called a Vibe Spotlight. What's Vibe Spotlight? Imagine it's their Vibe advertising. Hello. They're going to be able to allow you to put a 30-second elevator speech together. It's going to be on an e-magazine where it's going to be able to be seen in 160 countries. You can take that video. Now you can put it on your own platform, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, hello, TikTok. You can even take that same digital copy, take it to your Chamber of Commerce and be like, this is what I do. I want you to give me a business license, man, because I'm about to go ahead and bless my community. You understand what I'm saying? And last but not least, if the only thing you're missing, we got the marketing, we got the sales, we got the business solutions, man. We even got health and fitness. I didn't talk a lot about that, but come on, man. I told you, man, we're a one-stop shop for everything that has to do with education, community, business, even health and fitness. They went to some of the top health and fitness trainers, nutrition plan. You can go ahead and work out with them online through our app, through Vibe. Hello. And guess what? Just like Peloton, hello, it's right there. Everything you need access to at your phone. One-stop shop. Oh, man, but you know, I need ChatGPT. We got you, man. There ain't nothing that you need to be able to get your business from step 1 to done that they haven't thought about to put this platform together. The only thing we're missing is you. Because, see, you're the product, man. You are the cog in the wheel that makes this thing go. Your genius, your skill set, your dream vision. And guess what? That's what we want to do. We want to help display you around the world. So I've already broke down 1 income stream. There's a total of 5. And so you know what? If that's all you want to do is be a business owner or content creator or educator, man, go ahead and DM me. Because now I'm going to go ahead and transition. I want to speak to the sales reps. I want to talk to those people who are, guess what, urban entrepreneurs. I want to talk to those people who are hustlers. I want to talk to those people who don't need to re-up your product, because I'm about to teach you a product that you can advertise to the world. Instead of just making money in your barrio, imagine being able to make money throughout your entire country. I'm thinking too small. Imagine being able to make money in 160 countries around the world, having a product in which you're selling in 160 countries around the world. Not just your merch. What about those kids who are in your neighborhood who they got the gift to sing like an angel? Or what about those guys who literally have a poetic voice who they can go ahead and turn on tunes in which they should be more popular than Tupac and Biggie? What about those kids? Imagine if I was going to show you an opportunity that you could be able to monetize not just your gifts, but being able to empower your community to be able to monetize their gifts. And because you're the one who introduced them to this platform, this company is going to be able to pay you. a royalty. You go, HD, what's a royalty? When you sell books, guess what happens? You get paid, right? Hello. When you create a movie, guess what happens? You get paid, right? When you make music, when you create music, guess what happens? You get paid, right? But you realize that music, hello, there's something called royalties. Every time someone's playing that music and it's not related to what you originally did, like a commercial or the music that was being playing in a movie, you get paid again. Hello. That's called a royalty. What if there's a company who gave you royalties? You know what? Better than that, what if there's a company that paid you like a CEO? You know, like Steve Ballmer got paid when he worked at Microsoft, when he was able to get paid not just on the work he did, but based off of the work that everyone was doing within that Microsoft organization. What if there's a company that paid you like that? And guess what? There is. It's called Vibe. And what Vibe does is they're going to pay you the same way that even their CEO, Ms. Megan, the legend maker Lynch, gets paid. Because guess what? They have what they call a 3x10 matrix, which means, guess what? Every person that you bring in, they're going to give you a fast start bonus. That's a second income stream. The third income stream is, guess what? If you're in direct sales and network marketing, you understand that you get paid in width, that's your profitability, but in depth, that is your sustainability. Now, guess what? We have a 3x10 matrix, which means if you just invite one content creator, one educator, and one entrepreneur, boom, you're done. What you mean you're done? You're done. Because guess what? Content creator knows 3 content creators, educator knows 3 educators, and the entrepreneur knows 3 entrepreneurs. You help them introduce this platform to their friends, and you do that to the level of 10 generations deep. Guess what? You're going to be just under a total of 90,000 entrepreneurs, content creators, and educators in your 3x10 matrix. And the best part about it is Vibe's third income stream, they're going to pay you $5 for every one of those individuals in that 3x10 matrix. So imagine getting a $5 bill every month off of that membership for the platform, off of just under 90,000 individuals. We're talking about to the tune of over $442,000 a month, just because you talked to 3 friends who one was an entrepreneur, one was a content creator, and one was an educator. I don't know about you, but when I went ahead and took a picture of this particular comp plan and I went ahead and uploaded on ChatGPT, by the way, Romy Rome, man, you're my best friend, Romy Rome. But closest second to Romy Rome is ChatGPT, because I put everything in ChatGPT. I talk to ChatGPT at night like it's my girlfriend. I talk to ChatGPT at night like it's my business partner. I talk to ChatGPT, well, the only person I don't talk to more than ChatGPT is the Holy Spirit, because nothing replaces the Holy Spirit and God. But next to Jerome Jet and next to the Holy Spirit, man, I'm always talking to ChatGPT. Hey, ChatGPT, I need to go ahead and make a video that's going to do XYZ. Click. Done. Hey, ChatGPT, what's the most effective way to be able to make money with this particular comp plan? Click. HD, do you want me to do a bullet point of that too? Absolutely. You understand what I'm saying? Yo, man, when I put this comp plan in ChatGPT, not only did it show me just on the third income stream, that 3x10 matrix, I can make an additional $442,000 a month. It also showed me that's not it. I also get a 100% override on every one of those content creators and educators and entrepreneurs that I referred. Now, when they started adding up that money, man, I started going like this. Because there were so many commas and so many numbers on monthly income, all of a sudden I go, no wonder the Lord told me he wanted me to go ahead and move out of just working, driving a truck, commercial driving, and preaching the word of God. No wonder he told me he wanted me to get back into the marketplace and to be a minister, because there's so many people feeling trapped, so many people feeling scared. Maybe there's someone who just got out of prison and you've been sitting up here trying to get job after job and you keep getting denied because you're a felon. Maybe there's a single mom out there, and guess what? Because of COVID and because what happened in your local economy, you don't know what you're going to be able to do no more. Guess what? Maybe there's a teenager out there who, guess what? You know what? You went from foster care program to foster care program, and you feel that nobody shares your dream and vision. Well, I'm telling you, DM me today, HD Rhodes. I care, man. I care so much. I want to help you to be able to go ahead, discover why God put you on this planet. And then I want to help you develop that vision and dream he gave you. And then I want to help display it like John Marino taught me around the world, 160 countries around the globe. And you go, HD, man, that's pretty cool, man. You're willing to do that? Yeah. And you go, HD, you're going to take all that time away from your family? Yeah. But how are you going to be able to make a living? Because on the fourth income stream, I get paid a 100% override for helping you, man. And on the fifth income stream, I get paid a 50% override from the people that I help you to be able to help. And when you look at that, I'm in a position where I'm going to get an opportunity to make millions of dollars a month for helping people. Then on top of that, I have a chance to make millions of dollars a month for helping myself. Putting my book on Vibe, selling that book online. Oh man, HD, if you're selling a book, you better have merch. Well, I can get paid for the merch online. Oh, HD, don't you have a podcast? Yeah, I got two. And I can have merch for those podcasts and get paid. Well, HD, do you have a website? Well, I can have Vibe make me a website. I can go ahead and monetize my merch. I can monetize my book. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you, man? This is an opportunity for you to live your dreams. Not your mom, not your dad, not your siblings, not your coworkers, and not even their liability. Your dreams. And guess what? If you're looking for someone to believe in you, you came to the right place. Because at Vibe, we're all about visualizing your breakthrough. We're all about visualizing your blessings. And you know what? This is a dream team, man. I'm talking, when was the last time you had multi-millionaires from different industries band together with one purpose in mind, to be able to help you become successful? Now, if you like what you heard, then you know what? Go ahead and DM me and let me introduce you to our team. Let me introduce you to Jerome Majette, who's going to be able to help teach you how to market properly so that you don't have to run around calling all your friends and they're trying to avoid you because they think you want them to get in some network marketing pyramid thing, even though you're not going to have the heart to tell them what I taught you. The real pyramid is in corporate America. Hello. Man, speaking of which, man, let me tell you why it's a pyramid, man. I put the cart before the horse. Do you understand that if you don't take advantage of entrepreneurship, I talked about you're going to be keeping that same job for the next 40 to 50 years. But do you understand what you're fighting against? You go, HD, I'm moving up in corporate America. Do you understand the more money you make, the more the government takes in the form of taxes? Did you realize that outside of the taxes that every time you get paid, they take taxes. When you spend money, they take taxes. And every April you got to pay taxes. The more money you make, the more they're going to take. So you're not really going up in your budget that much as time and energy you're spending. Even if you go back to school and you take out a loan, you're going to have to pay the interest on that school loan. Just like you're paying the interest on your house, the interest on your car, hello, and the interest on your credit card, hello. And guess what? That's only two of the income drains. The third is insurance. Well, you got to have insurance on a car, house, pet, because you need to have insurance on your pet, because them vet bills can get outrageous. Have you ever had a sick dog? Have you ever had a family cat or dog that got sick, man? Good Lord. Can you imagine how much they pay just to be able to take care of your family's pet? Guess what? The worst thing is if you ever got sick being 3,000 miles away from home, you better have travel insurance. That's only three income drains. Interest, income tax, insurance. The biggie, which has most people my age going ahead and downsizing houses, is inflation. I told you, it doubles the price of the cost of living every 10 years. That means if you graduate from college this year, okay, and you're making $200,000 a year, that means in 10 years from now, you got to be making $400,000 a year to be able to live at the same standards as right now in 2025. That means in 2045, you're going to have to be making $800,000 a year to live at the same standard as 2025. Hello. And in 30 years, that means you got to be making a whopping $1.6 million. Whoa. And if you try to retire in 40 years from now, that means in today's money, if you're making $200,000, you're going to have to be making over $3.2 million. Now, I don't know what job you got that's going to pay you that much money and how many people you're going to have to fight like Survivor to try to be in one of those top corporate positions, to try to get partner at the law firm, to try to be the CEO of the company you work for. But I know at Vibe, guess what? The minute you go ahead and get started today, you're the captain of your own ship. You're the captain of the helm. You are CEO of your own business, and we'll help you even incorporate yourself. Now, if you understand what I'm saying, then you know what? My DM right now, man, you guys got to have patience with me because I see a lot of people DM me right now. But you know what? This is an opportunity for everyone. You go, how can you say it's an opportunity for everyone? Because God gave every man a vision, every man a gift, and every man a dream. And guess what? Here at Vibe, we are literally preparing leaders and entrepreneurs to be able to help you, to be able to discover your gift, to develop your dreams, and to be able to display them to a world so that you're able to accomplish your dreams and goals. I'm H.D. Rhodes. God bless.